Welcome, Jasper Doest, to Leica Gallery Vienna, to your exhibition of Meet Bob.
Thank you.
My first question is, how did you meet Bob?
How did I meet Bob? My family is from Curaçao, where this story has been shot. It's a small island just north of Venezuela. And in 2016, I was visiting my family. My cousin, she's a veterinarian, and she's a very close friend, so I stayed at her place. And yeah, one morning I woke up with a flamingo that walked into my bedroom. And yeah, I couldn't believe what I saw. And I was a photographer, so what do? You want to document it. And it was so strange to see a flamingo in this different context, in an urban setting, in a household setting. So I just started from there, and I've been documenting him ever since.
The photographs that you started taking from then on, they've been circulating worldwide. You had a big National Geographic contribution with the story, so Bob became famous. Yes. How did your encounter with Bob change Bob's life and also the life and work of your cousin, Odette?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure if it changed Bob's life per se. So he was injured, and during the rehabilitation process where she tried to rehabilitate him and bring him back to the field, she discovered that he could never be reintroduced. And therefore she made him part of her family, so he became part of the household. And that was the big change. I don't think he's aware of the fame. So that didn't really change anything for him, I think. But for Odette, it created an opportunity at first that he arrived in her life to start educating kids about conservation values. And that was first a local effort, directly interacting with kids at schools. And after the story got worldwide attention, it's still mind-blowing. The first post that we did on the National Geographic Instagram account got like 1.3 million likes, and everyone wanted something from Bob, but it was all aimed at me as the creative behind the work. So then we decided that we wanted to publish a book in order to give something back to her, which created funding opportunities for her to continue her work. But also through social media and the attention that it got, her social media grew, and now she's educating people worldwide about flamingos and conservation. So it has definitely had a positive impact. But for Bob itself, I don't know if he benefited from it. He seems very happy.
So we spoke about Bob and your cousin. How did this encounter influence you and your career, you would say? I mean, you received 2 World Press Photo Awards with this very series. So what happened to your work and career? What did it change for you?
I think I found my muse through him. So I started photographing wildlife. I've been walking around with a camera since I was 5. Started photographing wildlife, studied biology, so I was very nature-oriented in my work. And then at some point when I met editors at National Geographic, they would always ask me, what's the story? And I couldn't really answer that. So I did a social documentary workshop in the United States and learned to look at stories from a different perspective. And this was the first big effort in that. And then I realized that the stories were coming to me. So it changed my way of storytelling. I think it changed the way I see stories, the way I can make people connect with the subject. Sometimes these conservation issues are very abstract, sometimes not the most visual, but then by looking at it from a character-based perspective, you can add interest and make people fall in love with things. And Bob helped me see that. And visually, he's just stunning to photograph and to play with. So I think he brought out the playfulness in my work. Yeah.
I have a quote by you: "Leave your prejudices at home and be ready to be surprised by the unknown." In what regard did Bob surprise you?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not really sure if that quote would if I would relate that quote to this work, I would have to think about it a little bit. But yeah, that's a good one. Bob definitely did surprise me. I learned so much about flamingos and about animals. Did you know that flamingos could swim?
I did not.
I didn't either before I started this work, because you always see them foraging on deep bodies of water. But they actually can, and it's the most fun to swim with Bob. But so I learned some biological things. In terms of leaving your opinions behind, I think what was most interesting for me personally was having the conversations with Odette about animal welfare and about ethics. Like, she rescued him, and she had 3 opportunities. She could make him part of the household, so she would take him in. She could euthanize him when she realized that he could not be reintroduced back to the wild. And she could just release him anyway, knowing that he would not survive. So what do you do? What choices do you make in life? She decided to take him in. Is that the right choice, or is that just a choice that creates comfort for yourself? How has that impacted his life? Is he happy? All those things. I think that looking for those deeper questions added value about how I started looking at life itself and our role in it. But yeah, there's no real answer to it. But it deepened for me the questions about life and our role in a bigger ecosystem, I think. And
it most probably also changed the perspective that you had on the work of your cousin, right?
Yes. I already was in awe with her professionalism. When she's doing surgery on a delicate bird like a flamingo, and then seeing the precision and the love that she does that with, it's very impressive. And it was emotional at some points, seeing her do that with so much passion. She's an amazing educator too. So I definitely got to see her beyond her being my cousin, and beyond her seeing me as a friend, her as a friend. But also the respect that I have for people who dedicate their lives to things that are bigger than themselves or different than themselves. Because, yeah, sometimes people like Odette, they don't realize how special it is that they're doing. It's their daily life, and they just do it because they feel for it. And sometimes there is no support for that. Sometimes it comes at a cost, but they do it anyway. And I think those stories deserve attention, and I see it as my responsibility to do that.
Coming to a very technical point of view, regarding the gear that you used. One image of this series was in the 70 Years of Leica M book. So you used the Leica M for documenting the life of Odette with Bob.
Yes.
So what does this camera bring to you?
As soon as I started photographing with the Leica M, I felt so comfortable because the camera was no longer in the way. You know, like if you work with a big-bodied camera and you're photographing people, you see that people get nervous, and then as a sensitive person, I get nervous because I see people being uncomfortable with my presence, and that results in nothing fruitful. And with the Leica M being so small, I can flow around my subjects way easier, and I love working with the VisoFlex viewfinder. So then instead of just looking at someone like that, you're just looking through the camera like that, and you blend in with the background more, and people can just do whatever they want to do. So yeah, the Leica M is often my go-to camera for things like this. And then when it becomes a little bit more technical, when I need to use strobes or when I need more speed, then I lean to the SL system. But yeah, definitely Leica M is the camera in my heart. Yeah.
Regarding the future, what's coming up next with Bob? What's your next station with Bob? What's going on, for example, next year?
Yes. Well, I'm very excited to share that. I already spoke about 2016 being the moment that Bob walked into my life. He must have been around 11 years old back then. But next year the story is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. So I would like that to be a special year. So we're thinking about things now. What can we do with it? How can we elevate the story? Because it's a timeless piece. Bob's still alive. He's happy. Flamingos can get very old. Bob might actually outlive me. So yeah, I would like to continue that and to breathe new life in it, also from different creative angles. So yeah, that we keep creating opportunities for conservation in Curaçao and the Caribbean and beyond. And he's such an amazing character for that, and a true animal ambassador for wildlife conservation, that I would like to keep pushing that. And next year would be a perfect year to do that.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.